Hey everyone, and today I'm going to be talking about different ways of making friends at uni. Now, a lot of the time people will tell you that they've met their friends for life at university and that it's very easy to make a lot of different friends and it's a lot easier to make friends in uni than it is in school. However, sometimes perhaps you can struggle to meet the right kind of people for you, people that you share interests with, or perhaps you're just thinking about going to university and you want to know of the ways through which you can make friends. That's why I decided to make this video, and my first one I think is the most obvious one, and that is from your course. So no matter what course you are doing, there will be some people on your course, and it's really good to make friends with at least some people from your course so then they can help you if you don't know how to do a certain thing, or perhaps if you miss some classes, you can also contact them. Now I'm going to say something, but I don't want anyone to be offended by this. This is just my advice and it won't apply to everyone. However, throughout my life, I've been changing schools. Then I was doing 2 courses at my college at different campuses. So I've always been changing my course mates. And honestly, what I found, what typically happens, that's not the rule at all, but it happens a lot of the time, the people you become friends with in the first couple of weeks then become your best course mates. That's not always the case, and I would always advise you to make friends with everyone on your course, but especially the people you kind of get close with in the first few weeks then become your closest friends on your course. That's what usually happens. So even though my course is small and I've actually managed to make friends with pretty much everyone from my course, which I'm so lucky about, I'm definitely the closest to the people that I made friends at the start. What I typically do on the first day when everyone is introduced to each other, I try to look for people that are like me, that will perhaps share the same interests with me, that seem like my kind of people. I'm quite good to tell who I can be really good friends with and who and what people perhaps I can be friends with but I'm not going to be best friends with. Of course, I will try to chat to everyone. Of course, I will try to make friends with everyone. But I try to stick to the people that seem most similar to me. I remember when I was studying business in college, there were a lot more people on the course and not everyone was as friendly. And initially I was put in a group of people that seemed kind of mean. And I'm not saying this to sound like a horrible person or judgmental person, but they genuinely were. The first thing that they started doing on the first day were basically talking behind everyone's back, being mean about everyone. And I didn't want to be associated with them people, so then I joined a different group. Afterwards, I started talking to different people, and they even said to me they thought I was mean and horrible, like the people I was put with, just because I was with them. And actually, them mean people dropped out really quickly. They didn't care about doing work or anything, and they dropped out of college. And I'm so glad, even though I was put in a group with them by teachers, I didn't stick with them. I went and joined another group because I could see that those kinds of people were not my people and they were not the people that I wanted to be associated with. And I actually ended up with friends that were very lively, very social, but they were not mean, not horrible, that they were doing their work and didn't drop out within the first 2 months. So I think that's quite an important one. The second way only applies to people who choose to live at a student accommodation. I have spoken quite a lot about student accommodation in my student accommodation advice video, which I can leave down below in case you're interested. But basically what I was saying in that video, other from your flatmates, it is really easy to make friends with other people around your accommodation. The best way to do so is to go outside your accommodation as often as you possibly can in the first couple of months of uni, especially in the first month. But in the first 2 months, it should be really quite lively outside of your accommodation. And that's when people really want to make friends, because that's when they don't really have groups of friends formed yet. After about a month or so, that's when people start having their own groups of friends and they don't tend to go out as much outside of the accommodation. That's why in the first couple of months you should go outside of your accommodation and chat to as many people as you can. Give them your phone number, invite them to your flat or invite them to any parties. It's a very easy way to make friends because that's when typically people really want to make friends with you, because they don't really have many friends themselves yet. That's all I'm going to say about student accommodation, as I covered it previously in quite a lot more detail. Next method is honestly the one that I feel like I made the most friends through. It is on nights out. In a city like Leeds, there are so many student nights. Student nights happen every single day pretty much, and students always go to different clubs. People from different accommodations, from different universities, colleges, all go to different student nights and different nightclubs. A lot of the times I actually made such strong connections on nights out that I then started messaging with that person every single day. And let me tell you, I'm not the one to message first after a night out. I know you should, and I totally advise you guys to always message the person you want to be friends with first. Don't wait for them to message you, because they may be a little bit intimidated, and when you really get on with someone on a night out, you meet people that you have so many things in common. A lot of my friends, even from other universities or from different accommodations from my university, were met through going out. And same with like people from my accommodation that I haven't met like within my accommodation, because my accommodation was a home to almost 1,000 students, so of course I'm not going to meet everyone there. I met a few people on nights out or when I was walking home from a night out, and through that I also meet so many friendly people. But then also, of course, when you make friends on nights out, you have to be extremely careful to make sure they're genuine and right people with good intentions, because you never know who you might come across. Actually, that applies to all these methods. But I feel like on nights out, you are more likely to meet some people that perhaps have bad intentions towards you, so you have to be careful. Also a huge one that also goes with nights out, and I'll keep it at the same category because it's also sort of a night out. If any of your close friends are having any flat parties, go to as many flat parties as you can, providing you won't feel uncomfortable there, because if you really don't know anyone there, then it could perhaps be a little awkward for you depending on how social of a person you are. Then you meet friends of friends, and it's actually a great way to meet new people. I think to a degree it can be safer to make friends with friends of friends. Also, it's nice to share friends, because then you can go out as a group somewhere, and on nights out sometimes you make those really close friends, but then you never speak or see that person again. Whereas during flat parties, they're most likely to be friends of friends, so yeah, a lot more likely to then meet up in the future. Now, this fourth method is the one that I haven't applied to my life personally, but I really definitely want to do so in the second year, because I didn't feel like I had anyone to go with at the start. I never joined any societies. And yes, this is basically making friends through societies and different student clubs. Your university most likely will have a lot of different societies that you can join. Basically, a lot of different people get together with the same interest. All societies have a certain topic to them or a certain interest. You have different sports societies, religious societies, and you have societies based on music genre and societies based on like all sorts of things, food or TV or just film, acting, performing, and through that you can meet people who have the same interest as you do. So don't be shy and join a society. If you don't like anyone there or you don't like society, you don't enjoy it, you can always leave. Like whenever you sign up for it, you don't have to stay there. For me, I regret not joining any societies, but when we had like Freshers Fair and all the societies were introduced to us, I had quite a lot of different friends already, because during Freshers Week I was going out every single day and I met a lot of people that then I just wanted to stick to them people and make better friends with them, as opposed to go out and meet more people, which was a big mistake for me, because I feel like by joining a society I would have much greater chances of meeting people that would have the same hobbies as me. If you want to make loads of friends at university, join different societies. And then the last one will be a controversial one, but just hear me out, you guys. Through dating apps, you can actually meet a lot of friends. A lot of people who are using dating apps are not looking for a relationship, they are looking for some friendships. And you can put in your bio specifically that you are not looking for a relationship, or that perhaps you are already in a relationship, you are just looking for some friends and some friendships, and that will be totally fine, because there are a lot of people who use dating apps that are just looking for some friends. Trust me, from my experience, I know I was really skeptical, and I'm so sorry. I don't want to sound stereotypical or judgmental, but before I ever signed up to any dating apps, I've only ever used one dating app, by the way, but before I started using any dating apps, I honestly thought I would never ever sign up to a dating app, because I thought it was only for people who are looking for partners, and I was not very interested in finding a relationship online. Not that there's anything wrong with that, I just wasn't interested. But then my friend kind of persuaded me to sign up to a dating app, and I've actually met a few amazing people that then became my friends. If you sign up to a popular dating app, you will find people in your specific area, and you can talk to them for as long as you can before meeting them up, seeing if you want to meet them up, and always ask for Facebook. Say if somebody doesn't want to add me on Facebook, or their Facebook looks dodgy, I would never ever meet them up, because I would be worried about being catfished. As far as I can think of, I was never catfished before, but I'm always very careful, and I ask for Facebook in very early stages of talking to someone, just so I know. Well, I say no, you'll never know for sure, but I try to make sure it looks as legit as possible. And also, I would never invite them to my house. I would never agree to meet up at their house. I would never agree to meet up at a non-public place from someone who I met online, ever. Just thought I would let you know about this method as well, just because I met a few friends through there, and I haven't really been talking to many people, or I haven't been spending much time on the dating apps at all. That would be the end for my different ways of making friends at university. Of course, there are also other ways of making friends at uni, but I feel like these are the ways for which I made most of my friendships. But equally, there are loads of other ways of how you can make friends. But yeah, that is the end for my video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, please like it and subscribe to me if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!